Hey folks, welcome back to Baten Kaitos. So, last time, we took a little jog on the Cloud Path, intervened in some war crimes, and, let Callus get his good deed for the day in.
Day? Week? Month? I don't know.
Yeah, it's debatable how much of a time frame he's going to give himself on that one.
Anyway, this is fine. All proceeding according to plan here. No one's gonna remark on any of this? Nope.
You there, get back inside. Stay indoors if you value your hides.
Yeah, that looks safe.
So it's a bit of a strange welcome for outsiders, considering that they've got the town surrounded and blockaded, but, details, I guess.
These guys don't seem massively detail-oriented.
There must be some mistake.
I mean, you would think that they would at least be aware of, hey, isn't that the direction we had the tank? Where did these guys come from?
Asking for your opinion, boy. I am acting under a direct order from the Emperor. An order I am quite sure you are in no position to challenge. Don't tell me you still believe that nonsense about the infidels being equal to the Empire's chosen elite?
Man, it's not that they're equal, it's just that they can cause an enormous amount of trouble.
Land ambassador? One would think foolishness would have its limits. Either way, your opinion is irrelevant. Just do what you're told and stay out of the way, unless you're asking for more than just another exile.
What a ridiculous accusation! King Laticon must be a hindrance to the Emperor's plans.
Yeah, looks like the Emperor is trying to draw attention from himself and make King Laticon look like the bad guy for some reason. What could they be after?
The sealed power of an ancient god.
What? Are you serious?
I came to warn your king.
Nice catch there, Nogella.
I know, right?
Say,
Whatever.
we could,
That guy in there.
I came to warn the king.
Doesn't seem too bright, does he?
Look, our good deeds
Kids
are
like
used
him
up.
live to see their 20s.
We've got quite enough idealism for the time being.
You, Gibari? Please do something. You must save the king. If anyone, you're the one who can do it.
All right. I'm on my way. Just tone it down, will ya? Is he okay?
Yes. Thank God.
I forget where it's mentioned. It's probably in, some of the bullshit flavor text from some random NPC somewhere. But the reason everybody's so, trusting of Gibari is that I'm pretty sure he used to be a royal knight.
You better lay low indoors.
There's always one of those in every JRPG party.
Thank you. We're counting on you, Gibari.
Right, but that's why everyone's like, oh, Gibari, you're here, you can save the king.
And someone else gets to be the protagonist for once. We're having none of this, we're just like, no. This is clearly beyond our concern. Starting to see interesting cards, I guess.
There's definitely some elements that we haven't seen before. Some actual dark armor is nice.
Does seem about time. I don't know. I still haven't really got to grips with the card economy in this game yet. that's probably just a factor of, not actually being the one playing it. Probably.
Yeah, the economy is such that I feel like unless you go out of your way to grind by, like, constantly getting a bunch of pictures, as long as you get the boss photos, you basically have just enough money to mostly clear out the shops when you get there. I mean, as you can see, we did leave a couple things behind. Like, we didn't get that one dark spell for Shella, but...
I mean, what I noticed is that everyone seemed remarkably calm about us pushing a bookcase aside and going through a hidden door. Like, it's not even a hidden door, it's like got a full frame and everything. What's the deal with that? What was that room?
Hey, do you two have any idea of what you're up against? Well, you can count me out. All I care about is avenging Gramps.
So I think we're in agreement that the front door strategy is a winner here?
The Empire.
Yeah.
Are you just going to leave the people of Diadem in the Empire's clutches?
Yeah?
How could you live with yourself?
Well, keyword there, live.
Nations may perish. It's none of my business. I'm out of here. Maybe we'll cross paths again someday, or maybe not.
You're coming too. There's too many of them for Shella and me to handle alone. We need you, kid. Both you and your guardian spirit.
Fine. I'll help you. Just get your hands off me.
I don't think it's appreciated enough that Jabari can just, like, literally beat the shit out of Callus when he starts being a smarmy fuck.
We're all set then.
I mean,
let's get this party
that
started.
seems pretty necessary. Like,
Yes, let's hurry.
this is a man who needs to be dragged kicking and screaming into the plot.
Can't we at least wait until nightfall? We can't exactly sneak in during broad daylight.
We don't have time for that. The sooner the better.
Shella's right. We gotta get moving.
All right. I see what's going on here now. You two are nuts. If you get me killed in there, I swear I'll come back as a ghost and haunt you forever. You've been warned.
That's fine with me. I've always wanted a guardian spirit of my own.
Sheesh. Hey, why don't you hop into Shella's being for a change? Teach her a thing or two.
I mean, that would get us closer to the
Let's
plot,
get
so,
down to business. Here's the plan. Since the castle is surrounded on all sides, how about borrowing a small boat from the harbor and flying directly down into the castle from above?
Sounds like a good idea.
What do you think?
I mean, I don't see how the front door option would appeal to anybody
Let's head for the
here.
harbor, then.
Like,
I mean, we could. We did just beat one of those tanks. It's worth a lot of
No Empire's
experience.
gonna tread on this nation if I can help it.
I don't know, this seems like the first time I've seen so far where the moral choice and the pragmatic choice actually seem somewhat aligned.
Look. over
Anyway,
there.
are you ready for some incredible stealth action?
Always.
Imperial boat. That'll do the trick.
I love nothing more
Let's
than
take it for a little
JRPG
ride,
stealth.
shall we?
What about the guards?
Let's wait for an opening and run for it. Once we're in the boat, we're home free.
You know, Jella, I'm
You're
gonna be
said,
honest.
done.
Every single one of these men have guns, so I'm not sure that's true.
But can they shoot down the boat, though? So, exactly what kind of vision cone are we dealing with here? And what's, like, did the guys on the edge not have anything to
You there.
Get back here.
Like, am I hallucinating this? Are
Don't
you
worry,
seeing
pal.
these guys?
We'll just take her for a little whirl.
So I'm gonna be real, I have no idea how much of that is actually a stealth section and how much of that is the game bullshitting you, because, like, I mean, as you saw, you can literally just walk past, like, 80% of those guys, and they don't give a fuck.
Yeah... I would not have
First
known
and
just from
foremost,
looking at it.
Let's find King Laticon.
Yeah. Imperial soldiers may have already...
Like, you could have just
infiltrated the
walked in front of
castle,
one of them and
so be careful.
see what happens. It's a JRPG, what are they gonna do? Kick you back 5 seconds? Well, this all seems sensible. That was kind of a dick move, but I guess there is a path going over there, so, you know.
Anyway, the upcoming section is filled with... Well, I mean, maybe filled isn't the right word, because there's a lot of combat, but you're not really intended to do most of the combat.
Yeah, I kind of get what you're going for here, I think.
Yeah, but for what it's worth, you should probably kit up for water and light.
You know, I would say, based on what you said, that the upcoming area will feature combat as like an abstract concept. I'm gonna go with that. Okay. We couldn't have done that on the boat, you know, just saying. Someone downstairs is having a very orderly sword fight.
Oh, there's a lot of men downstairs fighting with swords. So the gimmick to this area is that we have been given 4 knights under our command. And as we go throughout the castle, we will see dudes fighting. And if we can choose to deploy our knights in any of these fights. And if they overpower the Empire soldiers, then we don't have to do the fight, and we get a Magnus from the soldiers. And if not, the soldiers die, and then we have to do the actual fight.
When it's done right, do it yourselves. Yeah, that seems pretty 2003 JRPG gimmick. Wow, that guy's putting in the work. I mean, I know he has the weapon advantage, but still.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? We've fought these guys before. We know these guys are not exactly what's the word I'm looking for?
Threatening? Worth a second of our time? Like, register at all on the existential scale?
So yeah, this first one is really the only one that it's actually worth going out of your way to make sure you win, because the butterfly is a very good card for Kibari. The rest of them, you just kind of get these... You'll see.
It's like... Based on what you said, like, I feel like there's something missing from this system. Like, we've got guys, and they die if we don't deploy enough. But do they take damage from fights, and that builds up over time, or like, what's the deal here? Like, what I'm getting at is, why don't we just deploy everyone all the time?
Because they are a limited resource. So, like, as you can see, I deployed a knight in that first fight, and then when I got to here, I did not have that knight. So he's gone out of my inventory.
They just dissipate into thin air after winning a fight, rather than dying.
Yeah, so the card that we got for saving them is an elemental aura, in this case the Chronos aura, and what they do is they're defense-only cards, but they have to match the element of the last card they played, and they get stronger over time.
Huh.
So, like, right now, we have an Aura 1, but, like, after so many hours, it'll upgrade to Aura 2, at which point it'll provide more defense.
Like hours real time in the game, not like as the fight goes on.
Yeah, no, yeah, like as the card evolves in real time.
Right, I briefly forgot that the absolute bullshit that this game was on. I'm sorry, it won't happen again.
Anyway, this room over here is where we restock our knights. They are not unlimited, but it is extremely hard to run out.
Oh right, yeah, there was that whole spiel about how we can come across wounded knights or something. But still, like, this... I don't know, I see kind of what they were going for, but this whole thing is just kind of profoundly weird. Even as a gimmick, I think. I don't get it. You deploy the guys and then they just evaporate.
So the soldiers in black are the ones you have to actually watch out for, because they are substantially stronger than the other ones, and basically, they will fuck up the generic soldiers really badly, and 2, if you have to fight them, they've got a solid like 300 HP to work through.
I've had fleas tougher than...
Very fun. Presumably you want to deploy the expensive guys against them.
There's a couple dick moves later on where, like, you'll go into a room and you'll see the knights fighting, but, like, the camera won't have panned over far enough to show you what you're fighting. So it'll do that, and then it'll turn out, oh, actually, it turns out that thing that you thought was, like, 3 reds is actually, like, 2 blacks and 2 reds, and then you'll just get owned.
That's complete dogshit. But I don't know. I also find it very funny that there's, like, you can have one guy just holding his own indefinitely, and nothing really happens until you commit more guys. That's just video games, though. Anyway, I'm very suspicious of these paintings. I smell a very annoying puzzle in the moderate-term future. I don't know, maybe I'm just unreasonably prone to Ultimacia Castle flashbacks.
I will assuage your fears and say that there are no painting puzzles to be had here.
Oh, that's a mild relief. There's just title paintings that you can examine, I guess.
Yep, and one of them, I think we already saw it, but yeah, one of them gives you a Magnus if you do.
I mean, what is a Magnus if not just another kind of painting that we carry around? Does anyone, like, just have Magnuses and just, like, keep them around for art? It's like mount one on the wall with, like, the fundamental essence of something beautiful. Is that a thing? I feel like that should be a thing.
I don't know if it is, but I agree that I feel like it should be.
Like, people will, like, put effort into actually presenting their collection of, like, I don't know, magic cards or something, so seems completely reasonable. Also, at this point, I consider it even odds on whether or not this game will actually go to that kind of awareness of this thing. Like, I got no idea what to expect. Honestly, kind of find it more fun that way.
Yeah, so we're coming up on the end of the actual castle part. Like I said, this section can be much longer between having to run back and forth, getting a bunch of knights, which I have cut out, and also, you know, if you fuck this up, you do have to actually do all of those fights.
Yeah, I can imagine that getting irritating. Oh, this is one of those bits that you were talking about. I can just about see the enemy makeup here. That doesn't mean I think it's not bullshit.
Yeah, you can see him for a second when they come on screen, but it's, yeah, that one's not fun.
They should have, like, different swords or something.
They're very slightly different. But, for now, it's time to go upstairs and meet the king. Will we be in time to save the day?
Definitely not.
Probably not.
We're so doomed.